What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Top Report. I'm your host, Joe Gallagher. And this past Monday, we had on a special guest, Church Militan's head of marketing, Max Douglas. And we got some pretty good feedback, so we're going to give it one more try. Hopefully it wasn't just a reverse type mulligan. We're going to have Max on one more time. Max Douglas, thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for having me, man. Good to be here. Good to be here.
So, Max, we were talking last time about will Trump go back on Twitter? And our opinion was probably not, knowing Trump, and he ended up coming out and saying to Fox News exclusively, I wish him the best. Elon's a genius, but I'm going to stick to truth. And
truth is great. It's the best.
That's exactly what he was saying. And he's just saying, I'm sticking here. And the Twitter takeover by Musk never would have even happened if Trump wasn't kicked off. And that's something that I would like to pick your brain on a little bit before we dive into why Elon bought Twitter and one of what we think to be the more evident reason that he bought Twitter. But I do think that it is true. The moment that you have the audacity to kick out a sitting president off of a social platform or any type of entity, online entity, I mean, what's going to stop you from going after commentators who just have a public following who weren't elected,
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, there was Alex Jones preceded the Donald Trump ban, and you had even guys like Milo, like way early on, just these early provocateurs who got kicked off. But I think everybody, when the Donald Trump thing happened, everyone was kind of like, "Whoa, you're banning a sitting president leading." It was I think it was like 2 weeks before the election, and everyone was just freaking out, and that's when you saw the big exodus to Gab, to MeWe. And then Trump shortly thereafter said he was going to do his own thing with True Social. And I think all Americans were kind of, whether you were on the right or the left, everyone was like, whoa, you just banned a sitting president.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shock to the whole social media world.
Yeah, I think so too. And now Trump also said in that little interview with, or the sound bites he gave to Fox News, he said, he doesn't think that Twitter will be as successful without him on there. What's your take? Do you think that that's the truth? No pun intended.
I mean, it's definitely a Donald Trump-esque take. I mean, it's. I think he's hilarious. I love that stuff. But no, I mean, Twitter is. Trump said something there about like, the stock has plummeted 80 billion since I've left. But he was a key profile on Twitter. He was one of the main tweeters or Twitter profiles. But I think Kanye West got banned recently as well. So Kanye West is coming back on. There's a whole string of people that are coming back on. Elon tweeted out the other day that no one's getting reinstated until he meets with his board, the new board that sets the policy. But there's a lot of high profile people that everyday people want to see back on Twitter. And I think that's going to be a draw in of itself, even if Trump doesn't come back.
I mean, even Marjorie Taylor Greene had her Twitter account banned.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, excuse me. It's just crazy that you can have such a massive tech conglomerate literally be willing to ban public leaders. I think that's a conversation that will go on for centuries if America doesn't crumble and fall in the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Seriously. But I think that's something that a lot of historians will look at and say, this was a huge turning point in corporations versus people that are counter globalists, anti-global agenda.
Yeah, and I think there is something to be said about censorship, like, right? Because Catholics have this history of censoring. You have the list of what is it, the forbidden books or the banned books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they
even reviewed movies until like the 50s.
Yeah,
the USCCB did.
Yeah, what was that called? They had some sort of like and they had a ton of sway in American theater.
Mm-hmm.
They would publish this list, and it would go out to all parishes, and the pastor would get up and read it and be like, don't go watch this movie, this is not recommended. And it had a major impact on Hollywood and on the budget for Hollywood and what they put in movies. But Catholics do have this idea of censorship that we use. Like we, you know, if a faithful Catholic were running Twitter, we don't want them going on there blaspheming our Lord. Like that's
Right.
not cool.
Yeah, like Ben Shapiro tweeting the Passion 2, he won't be crossed again.
Yeah.
He'd probably get banned.
I would ban Ben way faster than, you know, some whatever SJW that's like, you know, we need the proletariat to raise up and overthrow the bourgeoisie. It's like, okay, what? I mean, I would want to
Sure.
ban that as well.
Of course.
It's like,
Well, I mean, yeah, if you look at it, you have somebody that's got like 300 followers and they're half of their head shaved and the other side's dyed purple and they're running their mouths about communism. It's a problem ideology that needs to be corrected. Ideally, they would have that corrected and they'd be like, you know what, I recant and, you know, Jesus Christ is Lord. But when you have somebody that's of such power and magnitude and influence that blatantly rejects God, clearly, and hasn't really been given the opportunity, I would say, because Bishop Barron totally flopped on that interview, given the opportunity to convert because I don't know if he's been truly given the options of or the truth of the faith. I think that's something that would need to be addressed. But let's talk about data. So last episode, you talked about Tesla being predominantly a data company. And please elaborate on that a little bit more. But also, let's tie that into what that could mean for marketing efforts within Twitter's timelines.
Sure. So we're stepping into the realm of the conspiracy theory a little bit here.
we're full nerd
going
mode.
deep. I need a drink of coffee for that. But so the thing, so Tesla being primarily a data company, right? There have been different business analyses of Tesla, and the main thing that they do every time you drive a Tesla, it's pinging their servers and they're recording that data. It's under the auspices of self-automated driving or that sort of thing, or how to improve their models or whatever. But so some people surmise that with that, what is, it's like Kanye West said, no one man should have all that power. He's going to have all the data of Tesla coupled with all the data of Twitter. And I can't imagine that those things are not going to interact or intersect at all.
There's no way they'll be mutually exclusive.
I can imagine, and so, there's location stuff with Twitter. There's location stuff with Tesla. He's going to know a lot about you, and that's how marketing works, right? If I'm, I do Facebook ads and Twitter ads, and it's pretty simple. Like if you go on, you look at whatever, a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden your Facebook feed and your Twitter feed is just filled with that shoe as an advertisement. It's not that hard to do. Like it's pretty basic level stuff. What is he going to do with that as far as advertising? People are worried about Twitter saying like, oh, all these main advertisers, they're pulling their accounts. They're not advertising with Twitter anymore. They spend millions of dollars a day, whatever. But
I don't know if I buy that. Even if there's a couple, there's no way that they're just going to abandon such a massive social platform like that. Where are they going to go? Truth? Parler?
Yeah,
Gab?
advertise on Truth. Yeah. I mean, if you're Coca-Cola, it's like, or whoever, I don't know, even if Coca-Cola is doing this, but it's like, Elon Musk is this free speech guy and he's bringing Trump back. So it's like, you're going to risk millions of dollars of revenue. And just because you don't like the guy, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, you see all kinds of stuff on, liberal leaning companies advertising on Fox News all the time. So it'd be silly. It'd be a double standard. But yeah, I mean, so you step into the realm of conspiracy with, what is he going to do with all that data?
It's just a worthy opine.
Yeah,
it is.
Who is Elon Musk, and what is he going to do with all that power?
Yeah, and that's scary. Now, if you really want to go into it, then you can consider all of the Breitbart articles on him and transhumanism. But that is for another show, maybe a different program.
Yeah,
but we should maybe we could lobby our producer Mic'd Up to look into transhumanism. I think that's a hot topic.
Yeah, no. Well, and I want to say something just really quick about Elon Musk. I mean, he's, we talked a little bit about his character in the last episode. He had, shown up to the Met Gala in, what was that, 2017, 2018, where it was this, they all dressed up in this mock Catholic garb, like, right? They had Rihanna who was in this like bishop's costume and like
I do remember
her
that.
breast busting out. It was terrible. And Elon Musk wore this, inverse of the Roman collar. He had the black collar with the white on the outside. And then he's even, I just saw, and again, this could be absolutely nothing, but just yesterday for the other day for Halloween. He was wearing this like Baphomet thing on it with an upside down cross and all this stuff. And so it's like, you know, he's obviously not a Christian guy. I've even seen videos where he says like, oh, you know, it's plausible that we're living in this simulation, this 3D
Yeah.
reality or something
He's
like
the
that.
brain in a vase type guy.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. And so I don't know. I mean, it's how do you have, you know, what's his moral compass? If I had to guess, it's probably on the side of like libertarian and that sort of
Totally.
thing, you know.
Well, yeah, man. And this is going to go, this even applies to Trump, probably on a lesser extent, to a lesser degree. But at the end of the day, if you're not Catholic, you're just going to be missing the mark, because even
Yeah.
people who are Catholic miss the mark.
Yeah.
Cue multiple Jesuit priests, i.e. Father James Martin, cue bishops throughout the country or throughout the world missing the mark. And those are the people that have the best opportunity to embrace the faith so fully because of the graces that come upon them during ordination. But I digress. So even if you're a Catholic, you're going to miss the mark because you're not perfect. But that's your best opportunity because you have access to the fullness of the truth. So for Elon, yeah, unless he starts realizing that there is a God and that God is not a clockmaker, but that God deeply loves you, and then he can reason from just general monotheism to Jesus Christ being Lord.
Yeah, get to Revelation.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're Gucci. Then you're cruising. You're like, okay, now I have a moral confines. I have structure in how I want to live my life outside of just what I reason to be the best.
Because I mean,
because I could be wrong.
If you're living in a simulation, I mean there's no intrinsic value to human persons, right? It's I mean, what is your moral compass? What's going to drive your actions? You know,
Yeah.
If each person doesn't have dignity, then why can't you take a gun and shoot somebody? So what, you know, if that's plausible under his worldview, then what else is possible?
That'd be scary stuff. Well, Max, thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
Alrighty, guys. Well, if you enjoyed having on Max Douglas, let us know in the comments or send us an email, of course, to resistance@churchmilitant.com or redtopreport@cmresistance.com. Give this video a like, a subscribe, share it, comment it. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I think I've nailed them all. We'll catch you next time on Wait, no. First, Max, one call to action. We need to give one call to action before we end the episode. In my opinion, it's pick a social media platform and lean into it and get on it 15 minutes a day and just be involved and help develop some aspect of the social media world, because it's not going to go anywhere. I don't understand why people are like, I'm just never going to go on stuff. Okay, I get it. I respect that for some people. But honestly, my call to action is if you want to support some social media enterprise, whatever it is, do so and get on there and speak to the world.
Yeah, I think mine would be, I mean, imagine if someone like St. Francis de Sales, St. Francis Xavier, St. Maximin Kolbe had access to the tools that you have access to. Just do a little thought experiment. And I mean, these guys, St. Francis de Sales was trudging through the snow with blood on his feet, delivering handwritten pieces of paper to people to try to evangelize them. So just think about that and think about what opportunity you have with the social media that you do have. Well said. We'll catch you next time on Red Top Report. Away from grace, run into the box, run it, check it.